Hi everybody, this is Miriamka, and in this video, this is going to be a little bit of a different video, and this is going to be a story time video because I saw many of these online, and I think it's quite interesting when someone has something to say or has like a story that might interest everybody else. And today I have a story for you. This story is sort of spiritual and a little bit about God. So if you don't like hearing about God, or you don't believe that God does anything for people or anything at all, then I would suggest you not to watch this video if you don't want to. However, if you still want to stay, feel welcome to, because it's quite an interesting story that I have to tell. Just a little bit of background about myself and my spirituality. I do believe in God. I am a Christian, I think so, because I believe in Jesus. If you believe in Jesus, then you're a Christian. I'm not a Catholic, I don't really go to church at all, but I believe in Bible, and I believe whatever Bible says, I feel like I should do that. No matter if a person tells you to do that, I will still listen to Bible. So I don't really go to church because it's a long story, but I just kind of read Bible and I believe what Bible says, and I try to do what Bible tells me to do. And I'm really not here to try to convince you that God is everything, that you should go to church or that you should believe in God. I'm simply here to motivate you if you're in depression or you feel lonely or you just want to kind of watch somebody else talk about stories. Then I suggest you to stay, see what I have to say, listen to my story, and maybe I can make you feel a little bit better about yourself. So let's begin. So when I was at university, my third year of university, it was like a two-part course that you did 2 years in a college and you could do another year to get like a degree. It was called a top-up year. So I decided to do 2 years in a college and another year somewhere completely different. And I'm actually around London area, so I decided to go somewhere really far away from my family, from everybody, leave my job behind, leave everything behind. And for that 1 year, I wanted to go really far away, but somewhere that I will enjoy myself and kind of relax. So I chose Plymouth. And I went to Plymouth University. I studied animal science conservation because I really like animals, and I have a degree in animal science conservation. So that's something I'm really proud of. But anyway, going into a final year of study and being at a new university means that you have to obviously meet loads of new people, and that you're starting off with no friends whatsoever, especially when you're in a different new town and everything is different. You don't want to stress yourself out. But before the university started, there was like Facebook group of new people coming to university, and I went there to find out whether there's any more people starting my course, and I couldn't find anybody. But I just kind of left a message on this saying I do this and this. If anybody does the same thing, maybe we can meet up before we go to uni or anything like that. But nobody really replied for a few months. Not few months, few days, as I was only there like a month before university actually started. But just before, like a week before it started, I actually had somebody who replied, and it was like some girl that was doing the same thing, but she was actually from college, doing the 2 years course first as well, but the college was like around Plymouth. And she wrote me a message saying, "Hi, how are you?" All this jazz or anything. And she actually invited a few of her friends that she knew that will be studying the same course to the conversation, and we were like talking and getting to know each other. But anyway, when the university started, I went to my first lesson and I saw them girls because I remember seeing them on Facebook and talking to them, but none of them wanted to say hi to me, or they practically didn't want to like know me. They saw my face and they just kind of pretended that they haven't seen me, but obviously I knew that they saw me because they were kind of talking to each other about me. But anyway, forget that. So during the first few lessons at university, I kind of started sitting next to those girls or close to those girls, so maybe they can notice me. And actually what happened was one of them noticed me and we started talking, and then they saw that the friend is talking to me, so they all started kind of talking to me. But they still were not sure about me because this group of these girls went to college before university, so they all knew each other. There was about 4 of them, So I kind of felt like I was sort of new and not really part of the group because they already knew each other. But I thought I'm just gonna get to know them, it really doesn't matter. Then about a few days later, I would still kind of follow them around because I still didn't really have any friends, and I was still giving them kind of a chance to get to know me. But they were really not interested in me at all, like they were not really starting any conversations with me, it was just me. And one lesson, I sat next to them, but I was right at the end. And during the lesson, there was like a discussion, and I'm not exactly sure now, but I was trying to get involved into a conversation with them. And whenever I asked a question, they would just look at me funny and just ignore me. So after a while, obviously, I stopped asking questions and I kind of got on with myself for the rest of the lesson. At the end of the lesson, I had some questions that I wanted to ask them about different lessons. So I asked one of the girls, I don't remember what I asked her now, but something towards the about another lesson, and she just kind of looked at me and said she was busy. So at that point, I realized, like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I sitting with them, following them, trying to make conversation when clearly they don't really like me, or they have a problem with me, or they don't really know how to accept a new person? So I thought, what's the point of me being there? And I kind of got up and left. When I got up and left, they didn't even look back. They did not care whether I left or where am I gonna go. They didn't care. So on my way home, I was actually really upset because I was there, I think about 2 months or a month and a half. And I'm that kind of person that I feel lonely a lot and really easily. And I thought, me going to Plymouth, I'm gonna have new opportunity, meet new friends, and I lived in a flat on my own. So I didn't really have any chance to meet any students or anything. And I thought this would be like a perfect time to meet new people. But I was thinking to myself, maybe I was wrong. Maybe people don't really like me. Maybe they don't really want to get to know me. So I was walking home and I thought I was about to cry. I just felt like so lonely and felt like I've made such a mistake of going to this university. Maybe I should just leave and go home and not finish the course at all. So anyway, I was walking home and I thought I was just about to cry. And next thing, I see this girl walking towards me and stopping people. But I just carried on walking, I didn't really care, was walking home, whatever. And she stopped me and she said, "Excuse me, is it okay if I pray for you?" Pray for me? So I said, yeah, sure, why not? So she started praying for me, just general prayers for God to look after me, for me to have peace. And when she was praying for me, we stood in the middle of the street, by the way. She just stopped me, started praying in the middle of the street. I started crying. When I started crying, she looked at me and she thought, "Are you okay? Like, is it me? Why are you crying?" And I sort of told her about my whole day, how horrible I feel, how bad uni is for me at the beginning, and how I hate being here, how I'm so lonely. And she just told me not to worry, everything is gonna be okay. She remember going to university, and it was exactly the same, and this is just a beginning, and you're there to study. And she just kind of reassured me that it's gonna be okay. And I said thank you. I went home, and I felt inside, I just changed. I was so much happier that someone spoke to me and told me those words, and I couldn't believe actually what happened, to be honest with you. And from that time I realized, what is the point of me worrying? I came here not to meet friends. I came here to get away from my family. This is what I'm doing. To have some peace, to study, and then to go home a year after. I didn't really come here to worry about whether somebody likes me or not. And I realized then that actually God is watching me all the time. And He knows I'm struggling, He knows I'm alone, but He's just telling me that He is watching, He's with me, and I have nothing to worry about. And I just thought that story was so weird, because randomly somebody stopped me and they asked me if I want them to pray for me. And to me, it was just like a massive thing. I told everybody, I told my family, I started ringing everybody, and they were like, "Oh my days, it's such a good story." And I literally, until today, I believe that this person was sent from God. And I'm so grateful that this happened, because after that day, I didn't care. I was different and I was happy. And I'll be honest with you, after that time, I actually met so many different friends. and I'm so glad I met those friends, and I'm so glad I actually didn't hang around with those girls, because at the end of the course they were becoming really rude and not nice, and they were talking about everybody behind the back, and I wouldn't really want to be friends with people like that, because I just need positive vibes, not negative. So this is the story. I hope it didn't take that long. So if you're there watching this video, and if this story touched your heart or inspired you a little bit, I'm just gonna tell you that whatever you're going through, however hard, lonely, depressed you feel, there is God out there. I believe He is. You might not believe He is, but I really do believe He is. He's watching you, and He's taking care of you. You might not realize that in your heart, but trust me, He loves you, and He is just really caring. You might not know this right now, but if you feel lonely, you can always message me. We can talk about this. So don't worry, God is with you, and He loves you, and cheer up. I know this might be really hard to just take in, cheer up, but there are people out there that will care about you. There are people out there that love you and care about you and love your existence. So I hope you know that, and you're worth more than you think. And one day, everything's gonna be okay. So I hope this story was okay. It was my first story, so I don't really know what to make of it. And yeah, if I have another story to tell you, and I probably have loads, I will come back and tell you another story. But I just for now felt like this story I should really share with people. And I did. Thank you for watching. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up. If you have something to say, comment or ask, leave a comment down below. If you like my videos, then subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.